welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is March 22, 2021. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, how you doing, Pure Lighter?
How's it going, my good man?
I'm very sad.
Sad?
Because the event just ended.
Yeah. Literally, at the moment that we started the podcast, it was time for, for the event to end. Like, okay, I guess that's what it is. So, yeah, cool. Anyways, we are here once again to talk about Pokemon Go news updates and ranting about the game because we love the game just as much as you do. Just a quick reminder that we are part of the Professor Network. Check us out at professornetwork.com/purifiedpodcast. His camera is like all the way over here, so I'm just gonna mute him there. No, that's fine. I can just move in a little bit. Thank you very much. Make sure you check us out there, and check out the wonderful people that work with us every day, every time. So yeah, we'll definitely see how things go. Anyways, Chris, I think it's time to rewind the gear back again to the recaps. We got a little bit to talk about this week for recaps. This last week has been quite interesting for sure. So
we got a little bit.
So we gotta start just as always. What kind of shinies and hundos do y'all get?
Ooh, okay. If I'm looking back a week, that would start. Yeah, okay. That would start with a shiny Thundurus I got, I believe. And then after that, on my way out of Brinton, because I went on a little trip, if some of you guys don't know. And I got a stupid shiny Fletchling. And I was like, oh, cool. It would be you, wouldn't it? Because I just want to transfer him now, but part of me just won't let me. I don't know.
Well, you can just put it at home.
Yeah, that is true. It just takes so much time.
Yeah, it does.
And then the last one I got was literally 2 days ago. When I was up on my trip, I got a shiny, and I'm always hoping I get a shiny when I'm on a trip. And it was just shiny Magnemite. So I was pretty excited about that.
Nice, yeah. Magnemite is a cool one. I kind of need more for the family line, but that's one of them. They always evade me, even if an event goes on.
I think it's a good lucky trade. Like if you can't think of anything else,
Well, as for me, because lucky trades are cool and all, but how about getting some regular hundos, just like walking around and doing things,
I wish.
So I only got 2 hundos this week, which it was lower than the promised 7 that people were talking about, and I'm like, I feel you. But no, it was actually pretty fun because the charge up event actually was going on, and literally on the first day that it started, I went out since I had the day off, and I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and see what the event looks like. I wanted to finish the research pretty early too, so I didn't want to have to worry about that later. So I got a Hundo Gavantula, or Hundo the Prevolution, I can't remember right now. But getting this... what?
Joltik,
thank you. Getting this guy as a Hondo is actually pretty cool because I wanted to get enough large candies so I can actually make it to Ultra League. This is actually pretty good. I like Avantula as a Pokemon, especially now that level 50 is actually there because I think the potential is so much. And even in Great League, it's still a great Pokemon to go through.
It covers so much, honestly.
Yeah. Squishy, but resistant in its own way, So yeah, that's Gavantula. I also got... I was running an instance that same day on my stream. And then all of a sudden, I got another Hondo Terriorsa, which I was like, excuse me? It's like, I actually did get another one. I mean, this is my 3rd one. The first one was a long time ago when Gen 2 was actually announced. Or release, and then I got another one as a Shadow, so I was gonna keep the Shadow as a Tio de Orsa, and then the Hondo was already evolved. Then of course I get this one. I'm like, okay, well, repeat Hondos is not too bad for sure.
There are definitely worse ones you could have got.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know. I mean, I love Hondos, so I will take any Hondos any day. So I just don't like getting repeats every now and then. Thank you for joining us, Pokemon Masters, for the stream today. You'll be hearing from them in a minute. Anyways, as for shinies, well, the best shiny I got, actually it was a pretty good haul, and actually happy about this. So yeah, I did get the shiny Thundurus last week, I remember. But I also got a shiny Voltor from Spotlight Hour. And that was my second one of the family. So I finally got completed the family line. The funny thing is, then during the Spotlight Hour, I wasn't really planning on playing. But then I clicked on one, it was shiny. And I was like, I'm done. It's like, I don't need anymore.
One and out.
I went and out. I was like, cool, okay, goodbye. See ya. I went to like sleep or something. I don't know. Anyways, and I think later that day too, I was doing another stream, shiny hunting like always, and somebody invites me into a Mega Manectric raid, and I was like, okay, cool. It was actually on the same Tuesday that the event started, so I did a couple before. Excuse me. I did a couple before to get a couple extra energy. I know you got a lot of energy from this special research once the event started, or the time research, I guess. You got 100 mega can energy. That's what you got from the research. But I did get invited into one, and now I said, okay, this is my last one. I don't need any more after this, so I'm just gonna get the energy to mega evolve it and things like that. And of course, it's shiny. My very first shiny Magnetric in Pokemon Go, and also my very first mega shiny that I got from a mega raid. Curtis, have you ever gotten any shinies from the megas?
Not yet, no.
No? This is actually pretty cool. I never thought I'd see it, and I actually have the clip for it. Unfortunately, I can't really play it on the podcast, but if you just check me out, Purified, on twitch.tv/Purified, you'll definitely see the clips. And I was excited. I was actually pretty cool.
It's one of the best shinies too.
Yeah, no.
Out of the megas, I would say.
Golden with a little bit of black in between. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful shiny for sure. But the fun didn't stop there, because the Gold Plus was being nice and neat to me for sure, for some reason. So I Gold Plus a shiny Caterpie, which finally is the last one I needed also to complete the family. So a lot of complete families this week. And then after that, of course, I get another fletchling. So I was like, but the funny thing about the fletchling, and I think it's actually pretty funny, look at those IVs, dude. The IVs on that fletchling are like top-notch Great League IVs right there. Not like, rank 1, but still.
It's nice.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of want to flex, but I already have one power-up ready to go. It's like a rank 9, I think, so I'm pretty good on that.
Is that 4, 13?
Yeah.
That's decent.
Yeah, decent. Very decent. Very good. Very good. And that was my haul for the shinies, because, I can't get any more than that. And then after that, I cried myself, because there's always shinies I want.
Always.
Always, I know. Yeah, the shinies for the event itself. I was a few of them that I wanted, but unfortunately I didn't get. So, okay, so, I'm tired, guys. So I'm so sorry about that. Anyways, let's talk about the charge up event. I mean, we mentioned it a lot throughout our hauls this time. So, what do you really think, Chris? How well this event was put out?
I always like the electric Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
They have some of the best shinies. I mean, you already said how excited you were about getting Voltorb in your Manectric.
Oh, yeah.
There are so many electric types that are amazing. Especially competitively, too. Like, Magnezone is debatably the best Pokemon for Master League, just because of how much it covers.
Right.
So it was definitely a good time to load up on candy, extra large candy. There's a few Pokemon that people were really loading up on, especially Stunfisk.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they could get the Galarian Stunfisk for Ultra League.
Yeah, definitely. Or
I wasn't able to grind that much, sadly.
yeah, me neither. After the initial day, I was okay, but unfortunately, we always had sunny weather around here. The only time that we actually but technically, Stunfisk, the regular Stunfisk, does come out in regular weather. But the funny thing is that I didn't see as much as I think I should have. I mean, every time I saw one, I was catching them, but it wasn't enough to get enough extra large candies. I think not my best one, but the most amount of candies I got 35 extra large candies for Stunfish, so I'm ways ahead to be able to get enough for this. So,
Mhm.
what about you, Chris? How many do you have for
Um,
Stunfish?
I think I have like 45
Okay,
after this.
all right,
Let me double check. 46.
okay, not that bad.
But now that you can walk them to get extra large candy, I've seen like all the people I follow on Twitter are all walking Stunfisk. It is the funniest thing to me.
Yeah,
I think I'm personally, I don't know if they just implemented it after we got the last podcast up, but definitely going to be walking Lickitung personally. I don't know, but dude, it is so funny to see everyone walking Stunfisk.
oh yeah, definitely. Just a lot of changes when it comes down to that. So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's pretty cool. But what about the legendary? I mean, we had Terraform Thunderous included this time around. So what's the deal with that, Chris?
You know, I don't think a lot of people were excited for it.
All right.
Like pretty much anyone until uh, they found out in a little mine, APK mine, that they were going to have Volt Switch as one of the new possible moves for it, and that made it actually pretty A tier. After that, it does slightly more damage per second than Zekrom,
All right.
but Zekrom outlives it by a lot more in raids and stuff like that. But it definitely adds to its toolkit for sure, like making it very viable, especially since you can't raid Zekrom right now. So it's nice to have a good electric type.
That's true. That's true. And I think this form is actually going to be until the end of the month, so we have
Mhm.
quite a bit of time to rate it. In some sense, it's actually a little bit better that we don't have to rate as much. I mean, if you can get yourself the Hondo, cool. But it's kind of like a good like slow down from the massive amount of remote rating we've been doing for the last literally 2 months.
Going
Uh,
ham.
it's been crazy, man. It's been crazy. I'm actually kind of glad that I took a break so far to focus on something else than just rating the same Pokemon, legendary Pokemon all the time. Don't get me wrong, getting the enough like extra large candies for the Pokemons is pretty good, but for this Pokemon, it's not something that I want. Like I never really care about for the Weather Trio. Actually, no, this is not the Weather Trio. This is the
The
Theorem Trio or
genies
whatever.
or whatever.
I don't know, one of the trios from Generation 5. That's all I know. That's why I never really care about it. I know that the only one that we have to care about is Landorus once its Therian form comes out in the next few months or in the next few weeks, hopefully.
It's the
So
most notable, yeah.
it's the most notable, and I think it's gonna actually impact the meta a lot once it actually comes out. So if that one will probably hunt a little bit harder than the last few, but I'm not gonna like say, oh, okay, it's gonna be like one of those things where I need to have it at the time off. So if I get the Hondo, cool. If I don't, cool, I guess. I don't know.
The fact that it doesn't have a shiny is definitely keeping me from rating it more too,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, I mean, you saw how much we were rating the last ones, right? We don't care about the last ones, but
Oh
it's
no.
a new shiny.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and
Oh
the
man.
shinies were the ones that I was going ham the most. At least get one for each. I got 2 out of the 3 regular for incarnate forms or whatever, and then just one of those. And it's I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how the weeks come around because we still have another week of this, and then another one for Tyrion form tornadoes, and then after that we'll have Landorus because that's how the announcements are. So we'll definitely be talking about that pretty soon, anyways. But yeah, done and done. Basically, just like we mentioned, it's either a one and done or until you get the Hondo. Basically, it is what it is. Um, well, recently we've been talking about things like spotlight hours and bonus hours. Now, I know we've been actually really cover the spotlight hours as like we mentioned it on the news, but the last few spotlight hours were okay. Like the Stardust for Boltor was pretty good, and of course, shiny availability. The next one coming up tomorrow, as the recording of this podcast, will be Circuit with double experience and catching and all that. Now, Chris, let me ask you, aside from spotlight hours, have you actually dipped yourself in any of the bonus hours we have on Thursdays?
You know, people mention them a lot, Isn't there a mega raid bonus hour?
Yeah, I think I think that was last Thursday. I can't remember because I never really opened the game on Thursday nights.
Because I the only one that is interesting to me is the rocket bonus hour,
Right.
and I don't even remember when that is. We run a podcast. I forget when it is. Like it just doesn't interest me.
Well, that was actually the
A
very
lot of
first
times
Tuesday of the month, so you can already
it's
miss
only
it.
one day a month.
As so far, it was only announced for the Thursday, first Thursday, because again, just like they mentioned, this is test hours. They want to test a few things, see if they can make the
Mm-hmm.
game a little bit better every single day if possible.
Mm-hmm.
So they only announced it for once every Thursday at specific time. So the first Thursday was the balloons, which was one balloon every 12 hours. So at best you get four balloons or something. So it wasn't too bad, I guess. It wasn't like, you get it every 5 minutes and you're going to, get every other balloon out there. And
I thought it was more than that.
well, if you think
Crazy.
about it, how the clock is, if you go every 12 hours, you actually hit the timing, the time of
Mm-hmm.
60 minutes. So it's only an hour, but again, you got to like at least four balloons in by the
Oh,
time you
you mean
finish.
every 12 minutes?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, every 12 minutes. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, every 12 minutes to the hour. So were you confused when I said hours?
I was like, isn't that what we already have almost?
No. That's what I meant. It was 12 minutes every for the hour, every 12 minutes at
Okay.
least. So
Yeah,
it
that
wasn't
makes
bad.
sense then.
So it wasn't bad because we were actually worried about how that event was going to happen, but As for the other two Thursdays, so far there was a bonus mega energy for catching the Pokemon, I think, as long as you have one in your body. And then there was another one that actually had all mega raids for the duration of the hour. So just like regular raid hour, but mega hour, basically. That's what they call it. Never really care about it because I never really have to, and I have all the energy I need for most of the Pokemon that I need to mega evolve anyways, so I don't kind of need to do those unless there's like more to it. I don't know if the shiny rate was up or anything during those hours, but I didn't see anything different.
I would doubt it, honestly. I feel like the people that wanted the megas already had the megas before that too.
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe people got in like one or two raids. I doubt they went ham on it like they do for legendaries.
definitely, definitely. Um, I actually got to add something to the news afterwards because I just saw it on Twitter, but we'll talk about it in a moment. That's pretty interesting. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know. When it comes to those hours, I still think that there's still some like small little things that they can adjust for people to play it, but there's really
Mm-hmm.
no beneficial aside from same as like spotlight hour or something like that. At least you got increased Pokemon during that hour, so that's a different story. All right, so don't forget about the next one. That's actually like this Tuesday. From then on, we'll talk about the other ones when they come. So now we do have a little bit of information about what we mentioned in the last podcast about referral of the friends, because this is actually rolling out in Australia as we speak, and it's actually pretty interesting. Like if you guys go to like Soy Two Dots video and some other ones, there's actually an interesting thing to the whole thing. Now, this is the requirements to make sure that you can actually have the bonuses. Now, I haven't seen the new person playing or the returning player getting the bonuses yet. I haven't seen any of that. However, though, we have seen that type of referral when you refer to a friend and then gives you the bonuses yourself. There's a lot of items, encounters, Stardust experience, and everything else that you actually may think. The encounters, though, are the most important ones. Now, I kind of wanted to get a little more information about it. The most I think that we can go is probably Fleasking, because Fleasking does have like all the information that we need every now and then. Um, but the encounters are actually pretty cool because our Pokemons there you rarely see in the wild for any of the things. So it doesn't look like he has much information. Let me go back to Zoe Two Dots referral quest. There we go. I was actually looking for that. So There are some that are specific for returning and new trainers, and then the referrals existing for the trainer itself. So let's go through the list. Actually, if I put it on screen right here, you guys can see it better. So they have something like hatch 3x. So the trainer that's actually hatching them will get one rare candy. The trainer who referred the trainer will get a Galarian Farfetch. So that's the encounter for that. If they win a raid, they'll get a raid pass. If we're the one referring, we'll get a Bagon. If they catch 50 Pokemon, they get a Super Incubator. We get a Unova Darumaka. Thank you. If they defeat Tingo Rocket Grunts, we both get a Charizard encounter. If he actually hatches 20 eggs, they get a Chansey. We get a Dino. Give Buddy 50 treats. We get a Gibble encounter. Defeat a leader, we get Mega Energy for a specific Pokemon. Win 3 raids, we get a regular pass. Catch 1,000 Pokemon, we get 3 Incest. Trade 5 Pokemon, we get some stickers. Make 2 new friends, make more stickers of the different variety. Win 20 raids, we get 5 Super Incubators, actually. Make 100 nice throws, they get a Snorlax, we get Incubators. So, I mean, you know. Earn 50 candies walking with your body, we get 30 rare candy. And then visit a Pokemon 30 days in a row, which unfortunately, you know, is the one that we don't know the encounters yet. So we'll see what type of encounter we'll get once they do the visits in 30 days from the referral. And of course, again, this is actually running out, so a lot of people differently. I haven't know exactly. I think Soitudos has confirmed, you know, it's all first-hand with friends, including the 20 eggs confirmed on Reddit. So all of this is interesting. I don't know how many referrals you have per person or how many you can really invite. So it's interesting to see, and hopefully, you know, something that a lot of people are. Now, the requirements to actually work to make sure you get the encounters and you keep the referral to yourself is that you need to at least have the player not have played the game at all or have not played for at least 90 days of the referral. So you have to have at least 3 months of not playing the game and, you know, or not play the game at all. So if you refer a friend that way, you are able to refer it and you get those type of bonuses. But if you don't, if let's say a player have played the game last month, but they haven't played at all for a month after that, they won't get anything. The referral will not work. This actually fixes the whole alternate account thing, because not a lot of people are going to open another account and just play for 30 days, you know. So that's kind of interesting when it comes to that. Chris, what are your thoughts?
I still think there's going to be a problem with people opening new accounts and just giving themselves these things. I'm not lying when I say I'm looking at these referrals and I want those dragons for my Mew quest. So I don't know. I may try to see what I can do with that stuff. See if I can referral some people.
Yeah. And again, this is just a testing period in Australia, just like they usually do it. So if it actually comes out as a good thing, it will come out for other players in the world. So kind of it's good and kind of is like, okay, I know I have a lot of friends who haven't played in a while, so I can actually have them say, hey, play for 30 days. We'll do this. But, you know, it's kind of the thing. I'm actually happy about it just for the requirements itself. It doesn't mean to exploit it as much as possible, you know. I think that your reasoning is right. I think there's still going to be alternate accounts, but a lot of people are only going to do it just to get the bonuses, and after that, they're never going to care about it anymore, no matter how much you look at it, you know. If they are, like, willing enough to play for 30 days, because, you know, one of them is actually 30 days, so I don't know how it's going to work. I know you can, once you finish those requirements, you get the encounters yourself, so I don't know.
Think it's interesting that they are giving different rewards to each person.
Right.
For some of the rewards, like I don't know. It's very interesting to me. It's almost like they're helping the new players while giving the players that already have everything just a little bit more in their pocket. You know, some rare candies here and there. You know,
Well, aside from a lot
I,
of the dragon encounters, yeah, aside like a lot of the dragon encounters, which is the most important parts, and then almost everything you see in the list, aside from probably Farfetch and Charizard, is a shiny possibility. Actually, no, I'm sorry, the Darumaka and Farfetch. Everything else is shiny
watch
possibility. Yeah.
watch the last one for 30 days be Axu.
Oh God, dude.
I'm just saying.
I know.
It might be something not as good. But we'll
But
see.
if you think about it, the existing trainer that's referring,
Mhm.
um, most of the things that they have is already things they already have. I mean, if they don't hatch enough eggs, they probably don't have Dino or not got it in the wild or things like that. The Mega Energy is good because some people don't really do Mega Raids anyways. Stickers is another bonus. The incubators are a bonus, a super good bonus. At best, if you
Free
do,
money.
yeah, there you go. It's like you get at least 7 super incubators if you do like 2 of the task, and then you can also get a Ray Pass and some incense for free. It's like, come on. There's so much in the referral system that I feel like if the testing goes right, there might be a possibility to change some of the rewards. But I think so far every single reward except for maybe 1 or 2 are actually pretty good.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So refer your friends, guys, because there's more to come from that pretty soon in the news. But I think that's all we got for the actual recaps. Let's get into the research topics of today. And we got some spicy information here. Right, Chris?
Dude, I think what you were just talking about too leads into the first topic too.
Yes, and that was actually a nice little takeaway from both of them. So, transition! Let's do this. So, the very first thing that we're going to talk about today is a nice little piece of news that was announced by Niantic proper, not Pokemon Go yet. And this is the increasement of the friends list from 200 friends to 400 friends. What a deal. Chris, can you tell me how good this is?
So it's a real problem, especially when you're trying to PvP, to have like a spot on your friends list to, interact with somebody for like a quick battle. So the fact that they're giving you double the amount is freaking amazing, because then you can have like 5 spots now open and have an extra 190 friends. Are you kidding me? That's insane. And
That's true.
also, I'm sure everyone is aware that has been a part of Pokemon Go. Friendship is probably the easiest way to make XP in the game right now. So you're going to be able to grind a lot more XP from these new friends. I mean, friendship is magic. But the biggest concern right now, I think, for a lot of people is if you're going to be able to A, open more gifts, or B, send more gifts.
Yeah, I can see that problematic, but we still don't have the details just yet. All we know that
Yeah.
the left friend list is being increased in the near future. Now, this is like I said, this was coming out from Niantic proper, and real quick, I'm just gonna mention how things work. So, Niantic proper is expanding their social media, or their not social media, but their social interaction between games that they have. Wizards Unite, Pokemon Go. I know there's a few more in development that they're actually thinking of putting out pretty soon. And it's actually something that I saw on Twitter pretty early today after the start of the podcast. However, though, when it comes down to it, the ability to add 400 friends will be implemented as soon as all of their social interactions between games has been fully set into stone. So basically, there's going to be the features that's going to be connected between Wizards Unite and Pokemon Go as the announcement goes, but it's still in a roll-out stages. So once the rollout completes to everybody, they'll be able to expand the friends list level to 400 for that reason. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about Ingress. Ingress. That's their third game that they play. So all those games are gonna coexist. So they want to make sure that everybody has the space for their friends, especially from other places and everything. Which at this point, if you haven't played Pokemon Go, you don't play the other games, anyways. Anyway, but that's the incrementations that we'll have. If you have friends who don't ever play Pokemon Go, let's say they finally get to play Pokemon Go with them, say, "Oh, here's my friends. I finally got space for you." That's basically going to be the 400s list at one point. So we have to wait a little bit longer. We don't know the details of when this will be fully implemented into the game. So we do have a lot of things. Now, that means that as the podcast itself, we are able to add more friends. Now, I usually have a nice little cushion of friendship, but we'll make the announcement once the expansion of that comes out. And hey, if you want to actually be our friends in Pokemon Go, earn that experience, and hopefully, rate with us and everything, make sure you check us out in the podcast. We'll definitely actually open up that through some ways, either on Twitch or in the podcast services. So keep an eye out for that, and we'll definitely add you because you're supporting us through anything. Just listening to podcasts is enough, but you can be more than that. We can be friends.
Take it to the next level.
Yeah. Anyways. But yeah, I'm actually really excited about this. It's a long time coming, and it's just like Chris says, it's a good feature that we needed the most.
I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Chris, how about we talk about the next thing today?
All right. Ooh, Weather the Storm, Weather Week. Ooh, yeah. And this is one they talked about a while ago. I think a lot of people forgot about it, but they're finally bringing it out.
Yes. There's information about the Weather Week, the brand new event in Pokemon Go. Changing up a little bit from regular spawns or specific Pokemon that appear. I mean, that's still there, but this is an interesting one. So trainers, as the Charge Up event fills the air with electricity, we're receiving forecasts of some wild weather on the horizon. We're excited to announce the first ever Weather Week event, during which Pokemon that enjoy rainy and windy conditions will appear more often in the wild. And I know, Chris, you're looking into the wind and the weather conditions on that one.
Dragons?
Hold your horses, my friend. This is the news that we got. So, when is the event starting? Well, it starts on Wednesday, March 24th at 10 a.m. to Monday, March 29th at 8 p.m. local time. So it is actually happening a couple of days after the event that just ended a couple of minutes ago. But we do have like a couple of days of regular seasonal spawns before we go on into the next event. So what are the features? Well, Castform will appear more frequently in the wild throughout the event, alongside with other Pokemon that tend to appear more in rainy and windy, like Wingull and Duckle. I can't even say the name of the Pokemon. If you're lucky, thank you. If you're lucky, you might encounter a shiny, rainy form Castform. Why do you think that this is important when they actually mention the shiny form of Castform?
It is its first time being shiny ever.
So, we know that regular Castform shiny is possible. If we actually go to my shinies right now, I actually only have one. That's surprising. I only have one shiny Castform, which is the little pink little bowl of weather, flowing around and things like that. However, though, its other forms do not have a shiny availability. And this is true for almost every single main series game in Pokemon. Why, you may ask? Well, we don't know, because this is not Niantic's proper. This is Nintendo or the Pokemon Company proper. The codes for shiny Castform are in the main series games. However, it hasn't been implemented in any game so far until today. However, though, we did see some code in Pokemon Home when it was released that the forms were actually there in the data. So we knew they were coming. We didn't know it was going to come through Pokemon Go, though. Mm-hmm. But it kind of makes sense, since Pokemon Go is the very first game that you are actually able to catch a form-changing shiny and then put it into Home afterwards, which, at that sense, it will revert back into a regular Castform when you put it in Home. But the code is there for the shiny. So that's going to be interesting in the future games once Castform is a more likable Pokemon to appear in the other games. Like even the Pokemon Legends Arceus may be a thing for that,
It's possible.
It's possible. But that's the thing. It's never actually appear. And even if it changes form as a shiny in the main series games, it will not be shiny then. This will be the very first time, the very first debut of shiny shiny rainy form, cast form. Which is pretty cool, to say the least. The Pokemon Go is actually, going the mile to it. So that's the very interesting piece of news when it comes down to it. Aside from that, we also have more features from the Weather Week. Psyduck, Poliwhirl, Swablu, Drifloon, Mantine, Typal, and Ducklet will be hatching for 5KX. We have the following Pokemon appearing in raids: 1-stars. We have Slowpoke, Tyno, and more. Dynamo. I don't know the same names today for some reason. 3-star raids, we have Swallow, Pelipper, and more. So Pelipper's for the extra large candy.
Let me see. I haven't thought about that one before.
And then, of course, we still have Therian form Thunderous for the remainder of that week. In Mega Raids, we have Mega Houndoom, Mega Manectric, and Mega Abomasnow. Interesting paper cut. And then complete event exclusive field research and time research to encounter Pokemon like Rainy Form, Cast Form, and more. New Spring Team avatar items, I can't say the words today for some reason, in the shop. And then we also have Wednesday's raid hour. Actually, no, this is from the event itself. From Wednesday, March 24 at 10 a.m. to Saturday, March 27 at 10 a.m. local time, Pokemon that enjoy rainy conditions like Vaporeon, Lotad, Stunfix, and more will appear more frequently in the wild. From Saturday, March 27 to Monday, March 29, Pokemon that enjoy windy conditions like Skarmory, Taillow, Pidove, and more will appear more frequently in the wild. So we do have certain times where the weather type Pokemon from rainy and windy will be appearing in the wild. And of course, the bonuses will be catch Pokemon with weather boost to earn extra Stardust. Just like they do anything anyways. But anyways.
We take those.
Yeah. Can we actually have some rain here in Florida now that that's going to happen?
I don't know how you were the first person that has mentioned extra large Pelipper.
Why?
For Ultra League. I have not heard anybody talk about extra large Pelipper. But it is ranked 44 for Premier, and it's actually ranked pretty high. It is ranked 80 for Open Ultra League. So I'm not gonna lie, that's looking kind of spicy. I'm definitely down to grind that extra large candy.
Yeah, definitely. That's an interesting one for sure. I didn't think. I'm surprised that not a lot of people were actually saying about it. I mean, Pelipper's typing is actually pretty legit in the game. It's actually pretty good in Great League, as we know. But the extra large candies actually make that a potent Pokemon to use.
It can take out its enemies, yeah.
Yeah, pretty quickly because
gotta watch out for rocks. Gone.
The rocks not really. I think their most dangerous Pokemon or typing against it will be electric types.
Oh, electric for sure, yeah.
Yeah, quadruple weakness to it. Yeah, that's a death sentence for Pelipper. But the other week will actually bring the Wingull into town, so grind those extra large candies, I guess, because once Ultra League next time comes around, maybe, just maybe, you'll see some Pelippers out there in the
spicy.
Very spicy. It's probably going to be pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually thinking that that's gonna be. It's already good in Great League. I think that it's gonna just dominate Ultra League if that's the case, especially with the ranking of 40 plus. So I don't know. You PvPs out there, make sure you get your grind on this next week. But those are the important information and also the conclusion of Weather Week. The Therian form of Thunderous will be leaving 5-star race and Therian form Tornadoes making its Pokemon Go debut afterwards. Then only Therian form Landorus will be left unaccounted for. So make sure to stay tuned for more details. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. So yeah, pretty interesting week. I want to say that hopefully we'd see those dragons that we need, please. Please and thank.
I beg of you.
I think I seen some. I don't know. I think on the Tuesday that I was grinding, I saw a mini nest for Carvana. So I don't know about that. I may actually check that out later. Chris is like thinking.
Did you mean to say Carvana?
Yeah,
Or
Carvana.
did you mean to say a dragon?
No, Carvana. I want to
Oh,
say
for the
before dark types. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. No, you were thinking it's like, wait, we were talking dragons, or we talking dark? What are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't need the dark types. I literally just need dragons right now.
Yeah, no, I need some dark types too. So I don't know. Sierra is more of the opponent one, but anyways, what is the next piece of news we have for you guys today?
Ooh, India Wayfarer Challenge. What's this about?
Yeah, what is this about, Chris? So, real quick to announce that there's a brand new taking place in India, a brand new event taking place in India later this month, celebrating the Festival of Colors, which ushers in spring. So this is something that is interesting because you only seen it like every now and then when people travel to India. I think Trainer Tips actually had it a couple of years ago, where he went over to India and actually made a shirt out of the colors of spring. I think that's similar to what they were actually mentioning here. So they want to actually, have an international event that will affect mostly the international people outside of the United States, or more so the main areas. So having one for India is actually pretty cool. Well, how is this event working? Well, this is the interesting part. So on Sunday, March 28th, on the region, of course, in India, they'll have the features of Pokemon represented in different colors of the festival colors. Will be attracted more frequently into insects such as Bulbasaur, Pikachu, Jigglypuff, Alola, Grimer, Seal, Meryl, Sunken, Murkrow, Slugma, Aeron, Trapinch, and Drifloon. Then, of course, there are some exclusive time research that they're going to be able to earn some rewards, like Pokeballs, Greyballs, Ultra Balls, all of the berries, some Dragon Scales, Sunstones, and Sinnohstones, some Mega Energy for the following Pokemon, which are, all the starters, Beedrill, Pidgeot, Gengar, and Ampharos. Other items like potions, super incubators, a lot of different things. I'm just listing out of things. And of course, the last encounter will be with the Alolan Muck, which is, of course, the most colorful sludge Pokemon of them all. And then, of course, there are boxes going to be for there, which will include 100 Pokecoin containing 30 balls, lucky egg, and pineapple berries, and a free box containing 3 insects. So that's pretty good for them. And what is this challenge that they're actually having? So the India Wayfair Challenge, March 16, from March 16, which I guess it already started, until March 26, ending in the next few days. Eligible trainers in India or those who review India way spots via their home or bonus locations can participate in the Wayfair Challenge by reviewing Wayfair nominations in the country. Trainers can unlock different tiers of rewards depending on the number of way spots approved during the challenge. These rewards will be active for all trainers in India during the Festival of Colors event on Sunday, March 28th. So there's tiers of rewards for the India players. We have tier 1 rewards if they actually met the 3,000 plus new Wayfair spots approved. Their encounter with Morse Murgle in snapshots, and the trainers participating in the event will gain access to a free bundle shop with more Pokeballs. That's tier 1. Tier 2, meaning that they'll actually approve 5,000 waypoints, will reward everything from tier 1. Murkrow will appear more frequently in the wild, and if you're lucky, you might find a shiny one. You'll earn twice the experience for catching Pokemon. And then tier 3 will be the reward of 8,000 new wave pods approved. Will be the rewards from the last 2 tiers, and earn 3 times the experience for catching Pokemon. Pretty good grind there for sure. So we hope that the trainers in India enjoyed this colorful event, and that the trainers worldwide will also join the celebration with the festival color avatar items. Get ready to bring the splash of color in Pokemon Go and celebrate the beginnings of new season's trainer. Let's go. I want to say this is actually a pretty cool event for them. I know for a fact that because of how things have been in India, not political or anything when it comes down to it, but just the way that their Pokestop structure is, that I know that they've been suffering a lot in the Wayfair community. So this actually opens the door for a lot of cities, a lot of places, a lot of roller players to actually make their way spots announced and approved, so that way their Pokemon Go experience has been, granted or expanded in that reasons. What do you think, Chris?
I think it's a very interesting challenge. It makes me curious how many way spots get approved normally throughout the world.
Oh, I can tell you this
Because
much is a lot. I can tell you this much is a lot. There is actually a full community of Wayspot players just out there grinding the approval system right now. And I know because of Lorad podcast and the Pokemon Go podcast, I know both of them are actually announcing a lot of things. That even one of their Discord members, Jamal, I think, it's a super, super like in top tier Wayfair activist or whatever. I don't know what is the word for it. But it's just that he reviews like every day. There's always something to review. There's always something to review. I don't know how many he has in the world, but if you actually ever come around, I'm sure you'll tell us. But it's actually a pretty cool thing. Now, to be part of the Wayfair family, you actually just have to take a little quiz in the Niantic's Wayfair program. Once you pass it, you're able to review the Wayfairs. And I remember when they first came out, I dipped myself into those, and I actually wanted to help the players, especially the communities around here, because I know there's a lot of rural areas that are still missing a lot of Pokestops or even gyms. So, but I just been like, I dipped myself into it. I got a couple of them approved, and you can show it in your badge here in Pokemon Go. It's the only badge that really hasn't moved in a while. I have 4 of them approved, and then you need 50 for bronze, 500 for silver, 1,000 for gold, and then 1,500 for platinum. So, to be told, I think a lot of people actually got into that point. So it's actually kind of nice. They're expanding the regions of how everything is, and just giving the player a more sense of expanding the virtual AR world using Wayfair. So I really like it. I really do think it's a nice little thing here and there.
I think India is one of the places that hasn't really gotten the spotlight for a lot of events.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is a really good way to showcase too. And like, how can you not get behind the Festival of Colors when they're giving us like these beautiful avatar items too?
Yeah, definitely. So, India players, if you're listening, make sure that you do your best to get the best challenges out there. I know that you can do it yourself too, but you have to set your waypoint reviews to India only for a full year. So you can only reset that every year. So you have to mitigate on how well you're thinking of putting the effort on the Wayfair community. So there's different places that I know you're looking at me in the face like, what the heck are you talking about? But there's only because of the pandemic, they've been expanding how Wayfair is, but you're set in one location. You can set your main location at your home, where you are, and then your review locations where you review any of the spots anywhere in the world. However, though, you will not be able to move from that spot until the next year. And then they'll be able to use a different place where you can review spots at a time. So if you really want to help out the players, guys, make sure that you set your waypoint there. And I know a lot of people are doing that to help the community. But if you're not, then just stay around the area that you're at so you can help your own community in that sense. So, yeah. Here a little piece of information here and there. There is an EpiCan rolling out at the moment in the store by Pokeminers. They haven't actually put anything yet, but there's actually something interesting that Niantic just tweeted out literally a minute ago. Actually at the start of this podcast. Niantic proper, right here it says, "We enjoyed to make new memories with our partners at Nintendo and you. Imagine exploring the world through the wonders of AR and alongside your pals, including your new Pikmin friends," with more of the partnership in their blog post. Now, we're not going to cover a lot of things here, but the community right now on Twitter is going a little bit hey because they like Pikmin. And Pikmin is another game that looks like Niantic is going to be having fun with this year. But we're not going to cover much of it. Again, it's not Pokemon Go related. It's just to let you know that that's how Niantic is looking at things these days. But Chris, you have a bit of a question there. What's going on there?
You mean underneath?
That's like here.
I was just kind of speculating when we'd get dragons, but since we saw that we're going to be possibly getting some with the addition of the referral program, and maybe from the windy weather coming up in the same event as Cast Form, hopefully we'll get enough dragons to finish our shiny Mew quest. But you never know.
You never know.
Hopefully they throw some fun in raids or something.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. Well, if there's nothing much in the news section, I think it's time to get ourselves into the PvP section. Get good, get wrecked. Here we go, Chris.
I'm ready.
So real quick, we're going to be talking about some Ultra League Silph metas, or I guess Ultra League GVL metas. I know that was a little confusing when I said it the first time. Anyways, what have you been running in Ultra League these days, Chris?
In Ultra League, I haven't really dabbled too much in Ultra League, but I told you guys what I thought I was going to run, and I'm pretty much running exactly what I said. It is currently Talonflame, Venusaur, and Lapras, which sounds like it's a little wishy-washy, but I don't know. I've found there's always a win condition with the team. The Lapras does have Ice Beam too. There is usually a win condition, but you just need to not screw up, like me. It's very, very, very interesting. I'd say my biggest problem is over tapping with Incinerate for sure.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I don't really have all the candies for an extra large Talonflame just yet. But I have been running a team that it's been having some success. Now it is a little bit weak of fairy types, but there's not a lot of them in the meta right now that really incentivizes using them. So I've been running an Empoleon lead with a Shadow Machamp and a Gallade in the back.
I still think that would do fine.
It's actually been working pretty well. I've been having positive sets most of the time, and it hasn't really gave me much trouble aside from probably seeing a Togekiss lead.
I mean, all you'd really, in my opinion, you definitely want the Charmer in the lead. So all you'd really have to worry about is if they have like 2 fairies in the back.
Yeah.
Because even that team could find a way out of 1 Charmer in the back.
That's true. Now, I think I only run about 1 or 2 Charmers in my battle, so it hasn't been too bad. However, I'm able to mitigate because the lead is usually the Charmer, and my Empoleon really just wrecks that, so I'm pretty sure I'm okay with that when it comes down to the first parts. And then after that, I just ring Supreme for Machamp and everybody else. Machamp with Rock Slide and Gallade with Psychic instead of Close Combat.
Synchronize?
No, Psychic.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Synchronize and Psychic. I think Psychic is the better choice out of the two, just because even though it's supposed to be Community Day one, it's actually a better move and more powerful because they got a buff after Synchronize got released. So Synchronize is really not that great of a move when it comes down to it.
The only reason I would disagree with that is just because of the energy difference between the two.
Yeah, but Psychic does more damage, and with Confusion enough, you can get to it pretty quickly. Trust me, I've been using it.
Okay.
Yeah. I've gone through a lot of Gallades, and a lot of them actually run Close Combat, so I'm okay. Psychic can hit more, especially the fairies, just in case. Hey, the fairies don't know. I mean, they think that I'm running the leaf blade and the close combat, and they think, oh, that's the thing that's gonna touch me, especially Togekis. And then they see the psychic, and I'm like, oh no, you didn't shield. I'm okay with that. But yeah, that's basically what I've been running in the Ultra League. I haven't really done as many battles. I only really do them when I'm streaming, so it's not like I need to do all my sets. So I'm actually taking casual, but I'm still playing enough to, like, say, go to the ranks pretty easily and quickly.
Yeah, we have such a long series for the competitive GBL season.
Yeah,
such a long season. Sorry, that I don't think people have to rush through. It looks like we're going to be having our first legends actually this next few days.
between
So
today and tomorrow.
it's
Yeah,
pretty surprising.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be interesting. The next few cups are gonna be interesting once Master League comes around. So we'll see. There also are teasing the brand new Silk meta. They announced the teaser today, so we'll see those information tomorrow. I thought maybe they were gonna release it today, but I completely forgot that the teasers last 24 hours. So
They actually already dropped it.
did what?
Yeah,
What am I talking about?
the Prismatic Cup.
What? Silt Arena. If I can type Silt. Silt. Thank you. Oh, okay. Well, here it is, guys. The Prismatic Cup announcement for April 1st to April 30th. So, eligible Pokemons. The only, actually, this is a color meta, right?
Yeah, it's
So,
interesting.
blue, reds, yellow and white, green and black, brown and pink, and purple and gray. The two that are only banned in this cup looks like to be Megas and Shadows, so no Shadow Pokemons in this meta. And then we have a list of all the blue Pokemon, all the red Pokemon, all the green black Pokemon, all the purple gray Pokemon, all the brown pink, and all the yellow white. Interesting. What do you see in PB Poke? Have you actually got to PB Poke yet?
No, this is actually my first time taking a look at the cup. I like when they do fun stuff like this.
Yeah.
It looks like it's pretty easy to get a grip on how this cup is run too. So I really like that. Something interesting that they did for this PV Poke on PV Pokey is you can actually separate it based on the color of the Pokemon to rank it that way too.
That's pretty cool.
So it does have an overall ranking. Snorlax actually being at the top.
Yes.
But if you're like, yeah, if you need a specific color, because you got all the other types filled already, you got your blue, you got your red, you can click on brown and pink, and you'll actually see what Dragonite is brown and or pink. What? That's funny. But Hitmontop and Dragonite are at the top of that one. So.
I can see the brown. I can see the brown, so that's good. Hitmontop is actually pretty cool as a brown Pokemon. Alomomola is there too. That's crazy. But yeah, just a quick top 10 meta Pokemons overall out of the meta. Snorlax, Flygon, Munchlax, Lantern, Lucario, Hitmontop, Hypno, Ferrothorn, Castform, Snowy, and Dragonite. That's the top 10 Pokemons in that meta. So, interesting enough, to say the least. But, yeah, no, that seems like a pretty good meta for sure. So, I don't know about that. So, we'll see. I'm sure that everybody who's actually played Silt Arena will have analysis pretty soon. So, you never know.
I know a lot of people had a problem with the Vortex Cup. Mm-hmm. I kind of noticed it here and there too, that it felt very rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
I think with this team of 6, it's going to be a lot more dynamic and fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Wonderful. We'll have more information when it rolls around, definitely next month. So. And then one little piece of news here and there. As you guys know, we are part of the Professor Network. And to be part of the Professor Network, we do have different podcasts that we talk to. One of them being the Pokemon Masters podcast. They haven't really released a podcast in a while because they have, of course, life duties to attend to, like work and a baby born literally a few months back. So they've been quite busy. However, though, Joe Switch have actually announced just recently that they're making their own PvP esports team. And this is actually pretty cool. It is the Switch Masters PvP team. One team, one gaming franchise. What is it about? Well, let's learn more here on their website. So it all started with a podcast. No worries there, Pokemon Masters. And of course, he is here on our live stream right now. So welcome, Pokemon Masters. Thank you so much for joining us. It all started with a podcast. Of course, it kicked off with the podcast scene in 2017. And some Switch turns and some hardcore competitive stuff. It's time for them to, of course, they always wanted to be part of the PvP scene. Switch has always been part of it. So what's going on now? Sealed Arena Seasons and Champion are now complete. Ghost Stadium drawing a huge user base of monthly tournaments and adding in their own flavor to competitions. Both organizations launching more team-based competitions and esports organizations taking notice of our competitive scene. We want to create a team that will be able to represent and share our values. So that means that they are announcing to make their own esports team. If you are wanting to be part of a team that are PvP centric in the Pokemon Go scene, make sure you check them out. Pokemon Masters that are PKMN MSTRC and then .wordpress.com, and then you'll definitely see their wonderful website where you can actually apply to be part of the team if you want to. So make sure you are there. They actually have some of the teams here or some of the players here. Our office manager will be Joel Switch, wonderful person. Looks like King Duck's Pool is also going to be at the community beneficiary, and it's definitely part of that. So their team is small still, but if you want to be part of one, I'm sure that they want to be out there, to say the least, in the scene itself. So make sure you check them out, guys. I know there's a lot of different teams, esports going around. I know Spirit's Chiefs also joined one, and they're doing pretty well. I mean, the sponsorship and them and all that. So if you want to be part of it, I want to say so. Chris, any closing thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the world of esports centered around Pokemon Go has definitely been growing.
Yes.
I think there's a lot more eyes on Pokemon Go right now.
Mm-hmm.
All I can hope is that the game flourishes, you know?
Yes, and
it is very cool to see how competitive people are getting, though.
Yes, and that's the wonderful thing that everybody is so well put out in this community, especially the PvP community. I'm sure that a lot of people want to get through the battles, be the very best, and, bring gold for their team. So hopefully once we actually
no one ever was.
I know, right? Once people, or at least the esports scene, actually takes part, that Pokemon Go is actually an esports-centric game, I'm sure that the teams are out there that will be able to put that through them. So, yeah, I like it. And Pokemon Masters, congratulations on making the esports team. I hope that you have very much success, and I hope to see more in the future from you guys. I really want to see their name pop up in the big leagues pretty soon. So, so yeah, I think that after that, we have ended the podcast. Do you have anything else, Chris?
No, I think that's it.
Wonderful. So thank you so much for watching and listening, guys. We do appreciate you, everybody who's come around. Make sure you check us out at our podcast services when the podcast goes live. We are close to 2,500 downloads, so that is amazing, guys. Thank you so much. But yes, again, check us out at the Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, many other places like Amazon Music. If you can leave a review, we would greatly appreciate it. I check it all the time, so if you guys want to, we'll definitely talk about them. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. Pure Let It Go for myself and all podcast services. And then, of course, Pokemon Trigger Please for Chris. We're here on Twitch if we want to, if you want to see us stream other games and other things. Always having fun. So we're glad that you guys always have fun when you go here. And of course, don't forget to email us at purifiedpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, check us out, purifiedpodcast.com. Professor Network. Thank you. So, Chris, if we have anything else, I guess it's time to take it away for the night.
All right. And with the shocking end of the electric event that we had going on, I'm definitely looking forward to the rainy, windy event that we have coming up.
Just call it weather week.
No. Keep it all hype. It's definitely not because I forgot the name. But I hope you guys are looking forward to the events coming up. And I know I definitely am. There's definitely going to be a lot of fun Pokemon to grind, get those extra large candy for. You heard it here first from Pure Lighter. Grind those Pelipper. Okay. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace out. Get those shinies.
Keep grinding, and we'll see you guys next time.